Namaskar. Good morning. I'm Mrs. Manjusha Kelkar, founder of Breakthrough Higher Education. Today, in the series of interviews, we are going to decode NMAT. Previous to this, we have listened to Kimaya explaining her journey from India to Philippines. The students whom I am calling today have all traveled the same path and they have entered from India to the Philippines. Now, when we say this, we know and we understand that the structure of education in Philippines is BS plus MD. So when a student moves from here to Philippines, he first enters into the BS stream and parallelly he appears for an exam called as NMAT. Now, what is this NMAT? There are many myths about NMAT circulating around. So we would like to decode the myths around NMAT today, taking help of 3 students who have already appeared for the NMAT, got great scores in NMAT as well. Now, when we talk about NMAT as an exam, you get 3 attempts to apply for NMAT, but nobody requires that many attempts because it's only the 40th percentile you have to get. And when you get 40th percentile, your seat in MD is fixed into good colleges. So we have got students from 3 colleges, Emalia Aguinaldo and Our Lady of Fatima, both the colleges from Philippines, capital city Manila. So now, one by one, I'll be calling them. We will have a nice, good chat with them. And we would like to know what it is like to be in NMAT or to appear for NMAT, crack NMAT. First in the series, I would like to call Miss Tanaya Pisar. Now, when I introduce her, I'm very happy to introduce her. She's a bright student and oh my God, she has got a score of 99 percentile in NMAT. As well, she has got a scholarship. So let us understand everything from her own mouth and let me welcome Tanaya. Hello, Tanaya.
Good morning. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
So, I think you are coming live from Philippines, is it right?
Yes.
You are not right now in India. You are in Philippines right now.
Yes. Yes. Right.
Yes. So, viewers, please bear with us. We may have some time lag because she is there from Philippines right now with us. So, Tanaya, explain to me your journey and right now what you are doing, what you are studying per se, in which year of BS you are, or you have already entered into MD, or what is happening in your life right there, right now.
Okay. To introduce myself, I'm from Pune, Maharashtra, and I came to ESC Kavite as a fresher via Astute, and now currently I'm a 4th year student studying BS Psychology at ESC Kavite, but I'm currently in Manila. Also, coming to the field, this field is something that has inspired me a lot and opened many doors, and I cannot thank it enough. And also that writing was a passion for me, literature was a passion for me, but since medicine allows me to do it alongside with it, and this field requires a lot of hard work as well, but it's enjoyable, and the journey at ESC is certainly the one I would endorse to anybody.
Yes, maybe we are looking at a writer in the making, a medical writer in the making, maybe a person who is good at both the streams. She is a good doctor as well a good writer. So hopefully you take along the dream and we will get some good inputs from your end in future. So yeah, coming to moving out to our basic point, like you told us why you entered into medicine. Yesterday, we had a chat and you said that it's because of your mom, maybe you're here. So your mom must be super happy looking at you, the way you are achieving everything out there in Philippines, moving away from home, something emotional journey for you, and then landing up there and now doing so well. So, one point I would like to understand from you is what to do and what not to do in NMAT.
Okay, so NMAT is basically not a competitive exam. It is just an entrance exam that we have to clear. One has to get only the 40th percentile to clear that, to get into a good college in Philippines. So to do an NMAT is not something, there's not a long list, but what not to do, that's a long list.
On the
One doesn't need
suppose
to.
just a sec. Suppose I ask you a very specific question: what to do and what not to do on the day of the exam? Because we prepare, we do everything, we will understand from both of them what is the pattern and everything, etc.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
on the day of the exam, when you appear, what it takes, what it takes.
When you appear, you have to remain calm. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
very swift in answering the questions. Also, you need to keep your eyes on the timer because the time just slips by. There are many questions to attempt, and something my seniors told me that time management is very much important in this exam rather than the theoretical knowledge that you possess. So, I would also recommend that.
Okay. Tanaya, I know you are far away, so maybe, but I'll introduce our next guest on the panel, who is Sharvari. So Sharvari Kumar, I know her since I think 2-3 years. She's a very hardworking and passionate student, and yes, she also has scored a huge 95 percentile in NMAT. So let me introduce Sharvari. Hello, Sharvari. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Very fine, ma'am.
Okay. So how are you feeling coming live?
I'm feeling very nice, to be honest, to be here and to talk about my experience. This is kind of a huge opportunity.
Sure. So I think your juniors or people out there will be usually benefited from this particular thing. So yes. So what was it like? What would you like to talk about NMAT per se as an exam?
For me, NMAT, when I landed in Philippines, I had a little bit idea of what NMAT was, but then the more I talked to my seniors, to my guides, they told me how NMAT actually works, what all subjects are there, and when I found out the reality, I thought that it is very easy actually, NMAT,
Okay.
because the entire portion is based on what we have already learned since like our 10th standard to 12th standard. Basic, it is
Okay.
very basic.
Very basic.
So
Okay.
anyone can get really good marks in this exam, is what I think.
So you have also together with that talked about the difficulty level, and you said that it is pretty easier because as I know that in India students are grilled like anything in their 11th and 12th. So naturally, NMAT is just a cakewalk. You simply have to go and appear for it. But yes, you have to give some inputs because looking by your percentiles, you people's percentile, it shows that you have put in efforts into whatever you are doing. You have put in quite a lot of efforts to make it a success, to get good percentile marks in NMAT. Am I right?
Yes, of course.
Would you
Whichever
like to
exam
elaborate? Yeah.
whatever exam we say it is easy, it is easy. It is because we have to practice it. Then only
True.
we can say that it is easy for us. If
Hmm,
we don't have the basic knowledge, if we don't know anything about biology, we are like really bad at physics, so then these exams become difficult for those people if they have never practiced this stuff, basic stuff. And
Okay.
also there is not only these three subjects, there are many more subjects like logic, reasoning,
Hmm,
qualitative,
hmm,
quantitative,
hmm,
so English, verbal
hmm,
abilities, everything is there.
hmm,
So all these things need a lot of practice. With
hmm,
the perfect amount of practice, anyone can crack exam. The difficulty level is not so high, but the only thing needed is practice is what I would recommend. Solving more and more papers, looking at more questions. If you have doubts, you have to solve those doubts. You may even teach other students if you want. Like if you're good at chemistry, more teaching and teaching to other students, maybe it will help build your subject in that particular part. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So we have got some viewers. I'm highlighting. They're saying hello to everyone. Yes, Sharvari. So the next one I would like to call is Master Mukul Ingre. Now, when I talk about this guy, he is very good at speaking. He's soft spoken. I have talked to him many times, and he's a good guy per se, having a great helping nature. And he has shared that his journey, that when he had got his malaria, he got malaria in 11th standard, and after that, he was really interested in going into medicine. Maybe he's a future doctor for community medicine, or I don't know what his specialties or what faculty he wants to join. But yes, he's a people's person. He's great in talking at. So let me call Mukul Ingre. Hello, Mukul.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking, and thank you for such a wonderful introduction.
Okay, Mukul. So now we are actually going in a reverse order. Now, from you, I would like to understand, and yes, I forget to mention that he also has got an NMAT score of 80 percentile. So that's a good achievement, Mukul. So all the three of you have got great percentile marks in NMAT. And from this, I'm very much sure and confident that people out there can achieve it. It is something which is doable. Although you require only 40th percentile, everyone is scoring like handsomely. Is it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So let me understand from you, Mukul, what is the pattern of NMAT?
So basically, NMAT consists of two parts, part 1 and part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Each part has 4 subsections. Part 1
Mm-hmm.
has 4 subsections and part 2 has 4 subsections. Part
Mm-hmm.
1 is basically to test your aptitude.
Okay.
Like part 1 has sections like verbal, which consists of English. Then you have inductive reasoning. You have quantitative, which consists of a little bit of maths, and perceptual acuity.
Oh.
All this test your aptitude.
Okay.
And part 2 is basically what actually they may be thinking of what medicine requires, maybe. Because it consists of biology, chemistry, physics, and social sciences. So just to clear that, social science does not completely mean history or civics of Philippines. Social science includes psychology.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Great.
it is basically what medicine also has.
Okay. So how many marks this exam is? Of how many marks?
It is actually, we can't say that it is of certain number of marks, but yeah, it is definitely, if I want to say, it is 800 marks exam. But it is they does not qualify you on the basis of percentage. Instead, they have a system of percentile ranking.
Percentile ranking. True.
Yeah.
True. Very true. Okay. And the next would be, how many number of attempts roughly you get? As I have already told in my introduction, is that correct? That you get almost 3 attempts to clear this?
Absolutely. Yeah. You get 3 attempts until you get into your MD. And I don't think you would need your complete 3 attempts. It would be cleared in the first attempt itself.
Yeah. Great. So next, I would also like to understand or get some insights into what is your mindset like when you are preparing for this type of exam, which people say is not competitive, but still you have to appear for it. There is a dilemma into the mind. So how much weightage should be given? Should we get good percentile marks? Why should we? Isn't 40 percentile enough? So how do you challenge yourselves? Because it is more or less challenging myself. It's not that I have to come in merit, etc., but I'm challenging myself. So how you people are motivated for doing this?
Yeah, exactly. All the questions you mentioned were the questions that I personally had before attempting NMAT. But the first things first, what I would like to suggest or give an advice to anyone is that relax. First of all, relax. NMAT is an exam which is not competitive, but it is an eligibility exam. So, and per se, like we Indians, I don't know what our education system may be one of the best education system, because we have been like as ma'am said, we have been grilled and fried in every subject, in every sector of subject. So NMAT is like a piece of cake for us, but
Great.
of course, like there is a bit of tension and all. So yes, 48 percentile is the cutoff percentile range for NMAT, but it is like if you get 40 or if you get 90 plus, whatever score it is, you're definitely getting your MD seat in that college for sure.
For sure. Great. Now, what I
They
would
give
do
you
is
3 attempts just if I guess in case if you want to improve your score.
improve your score, simply like that.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll call everyone, so together we can have a nice chat, because individual introductions have been done. So hello everyone, and I request, if you have got some background noise, you can mute yourself when you are not speaking per se, but what I feel is we are comfortable and no background noise right now I can hear. Okay, so Tanaya, would you like to add up anything to what Mukul said already?
He's right actually that one needs to relax while actually attempting the exam, and that the tips that are provided by the seniors, they should be focused upon, as they are the ones who have actually given the exam, and
Mhm.
whatever they say is basically a bible for all the other students.
Okay,
That's
great.
it.
Yes, Sharvari, anything you would like to add up?
Yes, Tanya said it right, because I remember as soon as we entered the college, we were searching for seniors to tell us about their NNIT experience and their books
Mhm.
and what they referred to it and everything. We were literally searching what's the scene, because just we arrived and the next day their NMAT exam was there, the ones who attempted in the last year. So yeah, that's the really nice advice, to really stick to your seniors with their experience, because they have given it already. So
Mhm.
all their experience really helps a lot.
Correct. So, as you mentioned, Sharvari, I'll again rotate backwards. First, I'll ask you, what is the material or the books or something huge things you people read while appearing for NMAT?
As such, no. Basic,
Uh,
the thing we read was NCRT. That's the Bible
NCRT.
for
So,
the NMAT. Yes,
mhm.
for
Yes.
biology especially. And in
Mhm.
bio also, they ask you more of the ecology section questions. A lot
Mhm.
of those questions come. So
Mhm.
yes, the entire NCRT for 11, 12 is really important. For physics and chem, I personally think that more solving rather than reading is important. The more questions, the more papers you solve for this part, it is very helpful, because the questions are many times repeated, like from the past year's papers. Same question comes in the exam. Many times this has happened. And also for the section one part, where it is maths, logical reasoning, quantitative, verbal, all those things also you have to solve a lot of questions, because when you go through it, it looks very easy. But when you
Mhm.
actually sit, take time and solve these questions, which are supposed to solve in half an hour or something, for
Mhm.
the first attempt, I remember I took 1 hour to solve one particular section of that part. So then that's when the real challenge comes, that this is where the time management is really important. That even though it is easy, your hand needs to remember how to solve these questions fast.
Correct.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Tanaya, I would like to ask you the same question. What it is like about the material you have to use for studying?
As Sharvari said, even I used NCRTs to study from. It's really basic. The exam is really basic. We also had a certain theoretical books that were already published by the country Philippines itself. Like they have the books in the national bookstore. You can buy them, or if you want, you can just Xerox copy them from your seniors. So these books were also insightful, and we didn't have to review a great deal of material. Basically, it was just about solving questions and knowing what kind of questions, what kind of modified theory will be coming, so as to be prepared well for the exam day.
Great.
That's
Yes, Mukul, your
those
inputs
books are called
on
MSc
study material.
reviewers. I think.
Okay. Yeah. Please spell it again. Maybe we overlapped. The books are called.
I think the books are called MSc reviewers or something.
Okay.
The
Great.
review
Great.
centers also give
So,
them out.
great. Yes, Mukul. What about you?
Yeah,
Material. Study material.
I completely agree with Sharvari and Tanaya. And the one books the Tanaya is speaking about are MSA reviewers, and they are one of the best, no doubt. Also, what I would like to add is I am assuming that anyone who is attempting NMAT has already given their NEET here in India.
Yes.
So we all know what is the level of preparation that we go through for our NEET exam. Yeah. So
Great.
Yeah. So I don't think that NMAT must
Because
should
it is
be a
compulsory, you
problem.
don't get a visa. If you have not cracked your NEET here in India, you don't get a visa even to Philippines. So it is mandatory. So basic level you have already achieved in India. So this exam, as a cakewalk, you can say, but yes, you have to study. It's not that
Yeah.
simply you'll go and sit into the exam. You have to
No.
study. For any exam, you
Yeah.
have to study. So that's what
Exactly.
I understand from you people. One viewer question, if you guys would love to answer, is what is the time limit for NMAT exam? How many hours paper is it, or something like that? A viewer is asking you. I'll just show you the question also. Yes. What is the time limit for NMAT exam? Anyone? Anyone can take the pick.
Okay. Tanya would like to ask.
Yes, Tanaya?
No, it's okay. So for the first part, if you're attempting the offline exam, it's 3 hours for the first part and 2.5 hours for the
Great.
second part.
So roughly we have 5.5
So in
hours
total, it's
paper.
five and a half
Five and
hours.
a half hours. Okay, great. Now, coming back to Tanaya, as I'm really fearful about her internet connectivity. One more feather in the cap regarding Tanaya, she also has a scholarship from EAC. So, Tanaya, would you like to tell us something more about it and what it is like? Because we have never heard about a scholarship given to a student by a college in Philippines. So, what it is like, Tanaya? Tanaya, you can unmute.
Okay, so
Yeah.
basically, me and some of my classmates were rewarded with academic scholarships. I got 4 of them. Since I have attempted 6 semesters, I got scholarships in 4 of them. It is based on mainly if we are included in the dean's listers or the academic scholars list of the college. The college draws these lists from the grades that we get, the overall cumulative grade that we get in a semester. They draw up a list, then they choose the contenders from the list for the scholarship, and that's how basically I got this scholarship for 4 semesters.
Great.
So one
So,
has
I
to
think
basically study for the PS in the PS, and yeah.
so, as we understand by this and the structure of NMAT, you say, so NEET in India and 12th and NCRT is important. As we can understand from Tanaya, studying very great in BS is also very important because it can land up a scholarship to you. So, everything is important. You should not feel that you are just going away, because many a times it happens that when you are away from your house, there is no danda of your parents. So people may stay away, and they may not be on the path, or may not be on the focus. They may not get the focus. So it's very important to get your focus while you are studying, because there are multiple opportunities, multiple awards in the line. So you must always try to avail all of them. That's what we understand today from this conversation. So yes, congratulations, Tanaya, for the scholarship which you have achieved. And now, what next, Mukul? What would be your advice to your juniors regarding UNMAT?
Okay, so I don't know that I'm someone to give advice to them. What advice I would like to give to my younger self would be, first of all, like, my highlight for this session would be relax, because I was highly tense. I was stressed out before NMAT, because I didn't feel that I had the level of preparation that I should have done for NMAT. But after attempting NMAT, I understood what NMAT is. So that's what I would like to say to everyone, that relax. Even if you're not from a maths background, the maths is very basic, like the one which you had till your class 10. So just relax. Nothing is gonna uh, get you by stressing out. That's it.
That's it. And how was your personal journey? You are from Our Lady of Fatima College, correct? So
Yes.
roughly in 2-3 minutes before we sum up, I would like to understand what was the hostel like. Are you self cooking? What it is like to live in Philippines?
Okay. So briefly, I would like to say that I'm in Our Lady of Fatima University. So it is situated in Valenzuela City. So a little bit, yeah, we can say it is in Manila. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
in right now second year of BS. In Fatima, we have BS Biology as the undergrad course.
Mm-hmm.
So my experience was, oh my God, the Filipinos are so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no. So as ma'am said that I am soft spoken, or I am a friendly nature person, they are like two step ahead of me. So
Okay.
it yeah. So we may say
So
that it would be rude if you don't speak to them. Like, they will feel bad if you don't reply, or if you don't speak to them. They're such sweet people.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
it's Asia everywhere. We Asians are we really love talking.
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, so the experience per se overall in Philippines was good for you, and there was a mess, and you used to get cooked Indian food there. Is it so?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I didn't knew that there are so many Indian messes there. We have North Indian and South Indian mess, like four or five, maybe more than that. I don't even know the count. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
you can cook yourself. Like, yeah, there is not hostel for Our Lady of Fatima University, but yeah, like 70% of students live there. It's a residential society. You can call it a hostel, but it is
Okay,
amazing. So you have got kitchen and everything in your house itself, so you can cook.
okay. You can cook if you want. You can cook. And do you
Yeah,
live in a sharing room, or how many people share the hostel, or what it is like?
yeah. It's basically you get two BHK there
Oh,
if you want. Yeah, and we two people share it.
great, great. Okay, Tanaya, what was your experience regarding all this? The same questions I will ask you also regarding the hostel and the mess and the food and everything, because girls' perspective sometimes is a little different from guys out there. So, what is your perspective? And both of you are from ESE, and both of you are in
My
Cavite
first,
campus.
yeah, my first perception about Philippines was that this place is very safe for women, and that this hasn't been tarnished over the 2 years I've been here. The Kavite campus is great. I lived in Antlers. It's an accommodation provided by the college itself. The rooms are great. I lived as a solo in a solo room. I was the solo person there. And now that I've shifted to Manila, still I'm living in a solo room as a solo person. So it's not that expensive as the one thinks it is. Cooking is always an option for those who are foodie by nature, or one can either join the messes. As Mukul said, there are many messes available in Cavite as well as in Manila. I prefer to cook because it's more nutritious. But yeah, all the dorms and the hostels around here allow us to cook on ourselves by ourselves. And yeah, the country is basically what I have dreamt of since my childhood, that I will be going to such a place, and I will be staying at a place that will have little restrictions on how we move around, how we stay, how we talk, and all that stuff. And the atmosphere here is just great. So I would just recommend the medical students to come out here and experience the life here.
Great. Yes, Sharvari, your take on the same matter?
It is mostly the same. Both of them described it really nicely. When I arrived in Philippines for the first day, I was really terrified because everything was new, and it was like I, I don't know anyone from here, and how will I survive and everything. But as the days passed, it was like that. Okay, this is like a second home. This is something manageable, and yes, we can live here because it is really nice there. As they said, the people are really, really polite. Even the professors are very cooperative and polite there. Like if you have doubts or if you have anything, you can just ask them, and they will actually keep asking you again and again. If you have any doubts, you can ask them. So, and the college campus and all other students, the Filipino students, even they are very excited to talk to Indian students. Like sometimes we are given some assignments to go and interact with them to ask their opinions on some of our psychological projects or something like that. So they are always excited. Okay, you want to take our interview? Okay, we are in. Okay, we are fine. So we ask them, and we have a mess right in front of the college. So sometimes the Filipino students, they also come and try the Indian food, and then they tell us how they like the chicken gravy, how they like the roti and everything. Even the teachers have tried the food sometimes. Like one time we had samosa in our mess, so we got that to one of our teacher, and he really liked it. So since that day, he always remembers that the Indian students gave me samosa. So all this, it is very friendly and fun atmosphere there. Like there is no tension at all. You can just relax and do everything peacefully and in your own way. Even the dorms, I live in a three sharing room. Like we are three people. So the dorms are very spacious. Like you can have your own personal space. At the same time, you can interact with your roommates. Also, there is a cooking place, so you can cook whenever you feel like, because sometimes we get bored by the mess food. So we are like, we'll cook something today. And there is a market and there is a mall nearby. So all the grocery, everything, daily needs, everything is satisfied basically. Everything is close by. So that's not a problem.
Great. So when I last visited there, so I thought, oh, Asia's biggest mall at a walking distance, or with that jeepney.
Yes.
What do you call you travel?
Yes, jeepney. It makes a lot of noise. You can hear that in Tanaya's background right now, I guess.
Yeah, okay. That's the one from jeepneys. Okay. Okay, great. So, to sum this up, have we left out on anything about NMAT which you would like to share? I'll go again first with Mukul.
I don't think so. I think we pretty much sum up everything that had to be addressed.
What you see ahead now, going to MD?
Oh, I'm very much excited for that. Like it has been a wait for, I don't know, it feels like an eternity now. And I just hope that the current scenario just.
You are home. You have already started missing Philippines, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I just hope that everything works out well, and we all get to start our MD offline, please.
Yeah. Please, Corona. Yes, Tanaya. What is ahead in front of you now? you'll be entering into your MD?
Oh, yeah, I will be entering my MD in January. Obviously, we all have looked forward to this moment that we enter the colleges wearing our respective colleges wearing our respective uniforms and entering the dissection hall, seeing the Keravis for the first time. That's a dream for many of us. But since COVID is there, it's going to be online. But still, the interaction with our professors, the first student to teacher, everything, we are just looking forward to it. Just one point I would like to add to the NMAT thing is that I read this about in a blog that one needs to know their strengths and weaknesses perfectly. Like if you know that you are bad at math, then just focus on the other areas. Brush up with your math skills, but focus on the other areas and ensure that you get great marks in them so as to cover up for the math section. So that's
Great, great insights, Tanaya. Yes, Sharvari.
Yes, for the NMAT, I would only like to say one thing, that everyone is saying it's easy, it's a cakewalk, it's easy, you can do it. But just because everyone is saying that, don't take it for granted.
True.
Because, of course, 40th percentile is enough, but only you can see the happiness on our faces, that how good we feel by scoring really good at this exam, and the opportunity that we got today to talk about our experience. So this all counts too. Just 40 percentile, don't settle for it. Just aim high, because that will help you in your future. You will learn not to settle for a low grade.
Should aim high, always dream big. Because see, it is achievable, it is doable. That's why I just want to tell everyone that if Tanaya can win 99 percentile, then everyone out there can get 99 percentile. What it requires, a little bit amount of a hard work. That's it. But if you are not ready for that, then you are not meant for medicine, maybe. Because medicine is everything about hard work. Not about too much of intelligence, but it's more of a hard work.
No need to settlement. There is no space for settlement anywhere in medicine. You just have to work hard and be at the top.
Yes.
No settlement required.
And it's an ongoing process. You just cannot say, boss, I have worked for 2 years and now that's it. Now I won't. It's nothing like that in medicine. It's an ongoing journey. Okay, so thank you, everyone. I think we can close down here. Great interaction, great insights, because today's topic was only concentrated to NMAT. I have not asked you other questions which were very interesting. Sometimes when you will be in your final year of MD, maybe I'll track your journey again, how it was to enter into the stream and pass out so handsomely. And maybe I may say that some of you, I may see in an international batch going for their rotations in US in future. Like Mukul may dream of to go to, because in OLFU they have got international batch. So let us see what happens with you people. And I and you will always remember that together we were in the same frame. And let us track each other's journey. That will be fine. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone. So I'll just end the session here. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, viewers, all the viewers who were there. Thanks a lot. I'll just end the session. Thank you.